What's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel guys. In this video, I'd like to give a big shout out to Treyllo. I'm going to leave a link in the description below to his channel and to his video. Make sure you go check it out and subscribe to his channel if you haven't already done so. I'm going to be reacting to his video Dead Island 2 Might Suck for a few reasons. Starting with, I had a feeling it was going to suck because I remember back in the day when I played Dying Light 1. Before playing Dying Light 1, I went online on YouTube, did some, research looking for a zombie game that was good. And I remember seeing Dying Light 1 and Dead Island 1, in some guy's video. So I saw that and I'm like, yeah, Dying Light 1 looks like a way better game. So I never touched Dead Island 1 because Dying Light 1 was around when I was looking for a zombie game. However, I chose Dying Light 1 because Dead Island in comparison seemed like it was goofy, not so serious. And still is kind of a game like that where it's goofy, you just go have fun and, doesn't set a serious tone. It doesn't have any real depth to the story or to the mechanics of the game or to creating builds. At least I don't think it will. It looks like a game that you play once and you're done with, just like the rest of the playthroughs I've been having, guys. Most of the games, even including Resident Evil 4 Remake, it's a game that I'm probably going to play. I already beat the game. I'm probably never going to play it again, to be honest with you guys. The Last of Us Remake, Atomic Heart, Callisto Protocol. I was searching for a good zombie game. Now, there were some good ones among them, like Resident Evil 4 Remake, Last of Us Remake, but the sad thing is, are you hearing what I'm saying? Remakes. They're both remakes. However, I haven't found anything nice, so I was hoping this game would be nice, but I had a feeling that it wasn't going to be nice. It has nice graphics. It looks like it's going to be fun for your first playthrough, and that's about it. Which is why, I saw this video in my feed, and then I'm like, okay, let me check this out. And he touches up on some points that I would like to discuss with everyone. But without saying any more, let's get into this video, guys.
I think Dead Island 1 and Dead Island Riptide are classic zombie games. Without them, the zombie genre wouldn't have moved forward like it has. And only 33 years later, we get the sequel, Dead Island 2. This game is coming out soon, around 11 days I think from making this video. And I am hyped as shit. I've been waiting ever since that trailer came out in 2014. Imagine someone telling you after you saw that trailer that it actually wouldn't come out for another 9 years. And over the last week, I've been looking at the game all day. Whole bunch of new gameplay has dropped, whole bunch of new information. And that information made me pre-order the game.
Alright guys, I didn't notice that Dead Island 2 has been in the making for a decade. But I remember watching that, that trailer that he was just playing with that guy, jogging on the seaside and stuff, a long time ago. That I thought it was for Dead Island 1, you know what I mean? That's how old that trailer is. And now I see why this might seem like it's an issue. Like, why 10 years later did you make a game that doesn't seem to be that good? And secondly, I never pre-order games. I did it like once, I think, or twice. Once I regretted it, and once I didn't. And I think they were both like with Blizzard. I regretted doing it with the Warcraft 3 Reforged, and I did not regret it, I think, with the Diablo 2 Resurrected. But other than that, like, I'm probably never going to do that again. I haven't done it prior to those times and like after or before those 2 times that I just mentioned. So I always advise you not to pre-order unless like 100%, that the company that you're supporting always releases great games that will meet your expectations at the very least. For example, From Software is one of them. Anyways, let's get back into Dead Island.
Is already in my library ready to be installed when the game comes out. But 2 days ago, I came across some new information about Dead Island 2. Information that I was clearly ignorant to and wish I knew before I pressed pre-order. Now it's making me think, will Dead Island 2 actually be a letdown? What's going on, ladies and gentlemen of the internet? I'm Treyllo, welcome back to a brand new video, guys. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and join my Discord down below in the description. Without further ado, let's talk about why I'm worried. It really isn't that complicated, it's not that hard to understand, but it's a massive feature. Dead Island 2 is not open world. Let me repeat that just in case you didn't fucking hear it the first time. Dead Island 2 is not open world. Now initially you might be like, okay, that's fine, but I think this is going to take away from the game a lot. A game being open world and a game not being open world is the difference between playing it once, twice, or never again.
Alright, I'm just gonna have to stop it here, guys, just to give you some input. And my input is that I never played Dead Island 1, so I don't know how it compares to Dead Island 1. However, I never expected this game to have replayability, to be honest with you guys. I saw it as just like Resident Evil 4, just like The Last of Us, just like the rest of the games. Like most of those games, like they don't have actual replayability. Like if you love the game so much that you just couldn't get enough of it and you had to start a new game plus, well there you go. I mean that's like as replayable as gonna get. Like there's only one NG plus, most of them. This is not Elden Ring. You're not gonna get 7, 8, 10 NG pluses because the game is so goddamn good that you actually. I beat the game Elden Ring 5 times. I'm in the process of beating it the 6th time now with another alt. You know, also with his eyes on being Elden Ring. So 7 times in like a year and a half. I'd probably I beat the game. I will have beaten the game 7 times in a year. I've already beaten 5 times, getting close to the 6th, and the 7th is already like a third way through the game. So, like, I would never do that with any of these games. Not even Dying Light 2. Like, I only did an NG Plus to collect inhibitors, not because the game was so good I had to do it again. So, I do not mind the game not being open world. I just want to play it once, and I don't want to see it or look at it ever again, most likely. It doesn't look like it's the game that you're going to play again, guys. It just doesn't. I don't think Dead Island 1 looked like it had real replayability, but I don't know. Let's see. Maybe he argues otherwise.
I'm worried with what I'm seeing with Dead Island 2. We were promised a
Me too.
massive map, which is true, but this map is going to be split into many different segments that you can only progress forward in. Dead Island 1 and Dead Island Riptide were ahead of their time and fantastic zombie games, not because of the combat, not because of the graphics, but because of the fucking open world. At that point in time, open world zombie games were kind of rare, and to be honest, they still are. And now Dead Island 2 is taking that away from us. A lot of single player games use this model where you're moving through an area and you progress. Resident Evil, tons of games do this, but I don't know if this is good for Dead Island's longevity.
Now that he mentioned that Dead Island 1 was an open world, I am kind of worried about why Dead Island 2 isn't. It could be due to the fact that the graphics are just so good in that game and like the requirements are so high that making it open world without any loading screens could make the game crash, guys. Like it's not easy to do that. Not for everyone at least. It is unfortunate, however, that this is the case that it was an open world game and no longer is. However, to a person like me and to all newcomers, they're not gonna care. And this is who they're trying to cater to, I think. They want, the new players. They want to increase their market share. They need more players to buy their game. So maybe that's why they don't really care about, creating a world that has like, depth or making it an open world in any form or way, because usually there are specific people who kind of like those games. And there are people who just want to like I was saying, just play the game once, get it over with. Just say, I played this game, I beat this game, and never look at it again. I doubt that this game is going to be able to compete with the majority of the zombie games out there. People are so hyped for this game primarily due to the fact that they're desperate for a good zombie game to come out. Now, this is not gonna be the zombie game that I am looking forward to. The game of my dreams. No, it's not. It's another game that I'm gonna get to play, like, a Zombie Army Trilogy, one where you go kill Hitler at the end. That was fun. I enjoyed playing that game once. I beat it, put it down, put the controller down, ejected the disc, put it back into its case, and threw that case somewhere, and never looked at that game again. And this was going to happen with this one, except I'm just going to delete it off the PlayStation. I ain't buying no disc and shit. Um, and I'm going to react to his other video, why zombie games are dying, actually. Because this is a topic I've always wanted to talk about. Why have zombie games been shit recently? Not recently, for the last 2 decades, I would say, since Resident Evil 2, the original one, came out. But anyways, let's continue.
He just made a video about why zombie games usually don't do as well as they should, and you should check it out if you haven't already. Big game that falls in that category is Dying Light 2. Dying Light 2 came out last year, and that game is not doing that well. In fact, you'll see videos all over YouTube saying that the game's dead, why it failed, like shit like that.
The fact that he mentioned that, goes to tell you guys, when I play that game and I complain about it all the time, it's not just me. Nobody likes the state Dying Light 2 currently is in. No one. Alright? Unless it's you haven't played Dying Light at all, this is your first experience and your first playthrough, then you might enjoy it. Okay? If it's your first time going through the campaign, you're gonna enjoy it, you're gonna have fun through the campaign. If this is your very first experience. However, if it's not, you're a veteran returning from Dying Light 1, you're going to be disappointed, like I was. And guess what, guys? They're not going to fix this. They're going to keep promising you stuff. That's most likely never going to happen. Because if they wanted it to happen, it would have already happened. They wouldn't be selling you words, making you most likely somewhat false promises, like half the promise will be made and like the other half will be betrayed, you know what I mean? Like they'll stick to half of the things they say and they'll be like, okay, we're gonna do this and that, but they're not gonna give you everything they say they're gonna give you. So let's see anyways what else he has to say.
The fact that we have another zombie game coming out that's arguably not as ambitious as Dying Light 2 in any way is not giving me confidence that this game will be around for a long time. When you remove the open worldness in a game, you remove the replayability. If you're going down a new area you haven't been before, you're going to go over there to search for an item, you might find something under that dumpster over there, but that is a one-time unique experience. There is no second time that you're going through the game and you feel as if there's something new. Now, these are areas that you've been through in a scripted way, making it essentially boring to play again. Remember that there is no new game plus mode, and end game content seems to be pretty minuscule. So really, it's looking like Dead Island 2 is going to be a playthrough once type of game, and see you later. And that's not what I want in a Dead Island franchise game. Dead Island 1 and Riptide are the most replayable zombie games out there, man. The open world is actually pretty huge, there's secrets, so many different side quests, it's insane. By removing open world, this game almost seems to be taking a step back. Yes, it looks like the combat is fantastic. We are seeing a whole new revolutionary gore system added to Dead Island 2 called Flesh. But are you aware of how many modded weapons are in the game? 60. Around that many has been confirmed, and you may be thinking that's okay. Did you know Dead Island 1 had 47? That's right, Dead Island 2, even though coming out almost 13 years later compared to Dead Island 1, only has 13 more craftable weapons. Lacking. Definitely fucking lacking. Did you know the average completion time for Dead Island 1 is going to be around 19 hours? Complete the whole thing. If you're doing a little bit of side quests, you're doing a little bit of side shit. Did you know Dead Island 2's average completion time is 22 hours? That's right, not really something to brag about. There should definitely be way more content in the game, and the fact that they're advertising essentially the same amount of content, but just it looks better, it plays better. Okay, these are good things, but not what I'm expecting. If you go to any YouTuber that's played the game, last week a ton of YouTubers got to play Dead Island 2. Go to any of those channels, you're gonna hear people say it was fun, combat was cool, the locations were beautiful, all that stuff. They're showing you the gameplay that's really good, but they're not showing you how long that's going to be good. When I see the gameplay online, I want to think this is the next zombie game that I'm going to be spending years on. But
Alright guys, a zombie game that you're going to be spending years on? I don't know, even Dying Light 1 didn't capture me for years, guys. It was a fun game to revisit every while. That's for sure, yes. But to keep me playing every day for years, like it's World of Warcraft or something, um, I don't think I've ever played a zombie game like that. This is actually why I want to react to his other video, which is why zombie games are dying, or I think that's what it was called. Um, it's due to that point. It's There aren't any games like that. I don't think there ever was a game like that. I mean, I'm thinking of State of Decay. I don't know how that game was. Did that require you to like log in every single day and, play with your friends and stuff like that? Like a proper open world, MMO for zombies. Something that's really triple A quality, not just triple A graphics or just triple A story. Triple A everything from the graphics to the story to the depth of the mechanics of the characters of just the universe itself. That I haven't seen one like that. And if you know of any, please let me know. I'll probably have a playthrough of that one if I end up liking it. But I can't think of any. And I do not understand why games such as Elden Ring, World of Warcraft, and just like these large, medieval fantasy games, all right, can 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 achieve those goals while the zombie genre is failing to do something that has been, achieved by the ARPG MMOs from long ago. I mean, how old is WoW? It was released 2004, 2005. Game is almost 20 years old, and like it captured people right from the beginning. But there has never been a zombie one that was like that. Never. Like we had Final Fantasy 14, we have so many other games, Elder Scrolls, and all these kind of games that are pretty good if you're into those kind of games. But when you think of zombies, I can't think of a single one that is remotely close to any of those other games I mentioned. Hell, even a single player one that is as good as Elden Ring or any of the Souls games. They don't have to have the same kind of combat mechanics or any of that. You can still have guns and all that, but like, just as rich and lore and like and just so many different builds that you can have for your character, from like ranged guns to melee, and they're all viable. Sure, some are better than others, but I don't think I've ever played a game where everything was perfectly balanced. Um, Yet, when it comes to these kind of games, I can't even find one that is generally, when it comes to zombie games, I can't find one that is even generally decent when it comes to those elements that, other games such as, hell, they're not even MMOs, such as Elden Ring, Final Fantasy 16, I believe, probably will be a good contender. Where it's gonna have really good lore and just like everything. It's just like most of their games are usually good, to be honest. Like Final Fantasy X, it was really fucking good. But when it comes to zombies, unfortunately, the future looks bleak. Anyways,
In reality, this game looks more like something I'm going to spend 2 weeks on, finish, and never play again. Maybe I'll run it back with friends because, co-op always makes games more fun. Maybe they'll add DLC in the future and I'll come back. But without the open world, without the extra story length, I'm a little bit worried. And I already pre-ordered, so shit. I'll be making another video if it doesn't go right. But I wanted to let you guys know that this might not be what it seems. I think Dead Island is going to be a really fun game in mechanics and combat. But when it actually comes to the depth of the story, of the longevity, it's not going to be there. We are paying for a one-time experience. And sometimes that's okay. If it's the same length as the experience I got 13 years ago, am I still happy? Guys, I want to know what you think of Dead Island 2. Do you think that the things I mentioned are enough of a deterrent to stop you from buying or playing? Or do you think it doesn't matter, you're just going to go in and kill zombies anyway? Let me know down below in the comments, guys. Without further ado, I'm Treyllo. Make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe. As always, I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.
alright guys, don't forget, Treyllo's, his link is in the description below. So make sure you check out his channel, guys, and subscribe to it. Anyways, this is the end of the video here, so just a few things I want to mention. Like he said, this is going to be a one-time kind of experience. You play it once, put it aside, you move on with your life. I personally am okay with that. I've realized, most of the games I've played in my life were like that, even if they were really good. Unless it was like World of Warcraft, Diablo 4, where like there was some online or slash multiplayer elements, then you're probably gonna play it once and just never ever look at it again. Like that's just how single player games usually are, except for Elden Ring. I beat the game so many times, I'm not done beating it. I'm gonna keep on beating it. However, I am waiting for the day that a zombie game can do that, can deliver on that, and can make itself playable, whether it chooses to be an MMO or just an amazing, true AAA single player experience. I do not mind, but I want that real replayability. Dying Light 2 doesn't have it. Dying Light 1 didn't have it. Not to me. Maybe some people. Like, I would revisit the game, you know, once, twice every year, every year or something. I would play it for a few months, get bored, like a month or two maybe actually, like a couple of months, like every day, and get bored, and then leave it alone for like at least 6 months, if not longer, and then come back and check it out, play again. I did that like 2, 3 times, and that's it. And then I never touched Dying Light again. So out of the 7 years, I probably just played the whole game for like anywhere between 1 to 2 years. Um, and even then, even as amazing as Dying Light 1 was, it doesn't have all the elements that I discussed, the ones that I'm looking for, the true depth when it comes to story, when it comes to everything that you just no longer expect from these games. It's unfortunate, it's really sad, but I'm gonna leave my opinions for the other video because I will be reacting to another video of his, and I will be reacting to also one other video for another game. I'll leave that for another time though. So guys, as always, thank you all so much for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe if you'd like to watch more content like this. And I'll catch you all in the next episode. Take care, y'all, and peace.